Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Gayle Carson. Welcome to Living Regret Free, a program that shows you how to live a better and more joyful life. As an added bonus, I invite you to listen to an introduction to my Mindset Matters program, which ties into this so well. Go to www.sobmindset.com. It's free, and I know you will enjoy it. If you'd like to contact me personally, drop me a line at gaylecarson13@gmail.com or go to my website, www.spunkyoldbroad.com, and sign up for my weekly newsletter.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Gayle Carson, and we're talking about living regret-free. And we've got a great subject area today. You know how much I love animals, and we've got someone who really can tell us a lot about our fur babies. First, I want to make sure that you know that you can go to my website, spunkyoldbroad.com. You can go to my contact page if you want to suggest a guest or a subject you'd like me to talk about, or anything else if you want a conversation with me. Just fill out the form, let me know what you want, and I'll be back in touch with you. And my guest today is Gila Kurtz. She is a serial entrepreneur who found her deepest passion in working with dogs and their people. She's co-founder and co-owner of Dog is Good, a lifestyle brand for dog lovers. The company creates original messaging and design for a broad array of products to celebrate and share the unique joy one feels living life with dog. Along with her husband, John, she's turned her love for dogs into a thriving business and highly recognizable brand, which is sold in retail stores all over the country. And it's licensed to major manufacturers. And now she offers an independent business opportunity for dog lovers who want to turn their passion for dogs into a fun and profitable venture. And she is the best-selling author of Fur Covered Wisdom: A Dog Can Change the Way You See the World, which quickly became a #1 international bestseller on Amazon in both the pet and self-help categories. Welcome to the show, Gila.
Thank you so much, Gail. I'm excited to be here with you today.
Well, we can talk about, business. We can talk about living regret-free. We can talk about a whole bunch of things. But as long as we are talking about dogs, which I adore, why don't you tell us, first of all, what got you into all of this, and why, you recognize that this was something that was your passion and you needed to do this?
Great question. Thank you so much. And you're right. Anytime you are talking about dogs, it's always exciting. And it really, for those people who share our passion and love for dogs, they really get it. So quite honestly, if you had told me 20 years ago that my entire world would be revolving around dogs, I would have thought you were crazy, because I actually did not grow up with a dog. And at the time, my closest friends also did not have dogs. We all had cats. And so, I find it very interesting how life experiences and journeys bring you on different paths, and how new doors open up to create opportunity for you. But quite honestly, my intro to the world of dogs came when we were stationed in Japan, and I adopted a much too young Dalmatian Labrador mixed puppy. I knew nothing about dogs at the time, and I had no idea that I was going to be in for quite the ride. But bringing her into our family really was the catalyst that took me on this journey, creating opportunity for me to explore my passions, to teach and to work with animals. So I became a professional dog trainer. And then over time, through my work as a professional dog trainer, began to see that there really was something incredibly interesting about the relationship that people have with dogs and how they were impacting their lives. And it was at a continuing education conference that I was standing in front of a booth, in the exhibitor hall. Somebody was selling some T-shirts, and every single T-shirt said the same thing: "I love my," and then it had a picture of whatever breed you had. And I remember standing there for about 2 minutes, kind of, thinking deeply about, well, I do love my dog, but there's something deeper than that. It's not just I love my dog, there's something more there. And when I mentioned it casually to my husband, he was like, you know what? There's nothing out there like this. Why don't we just create it? And so that's where the idea came to be. And in the process of creating the Dog is Good brand and designing messages that really spoke to who the dog lover was as a person and the power of the dog-human bond that was, so impactful in their lives, I went on my own journey as the company grew successful, and that kind of led me to other paths, which resulted in the book for Covered Wisdom, and over the past few years has continued to result in other opportunities, such as the pop-up shops that have come about as a result of the connection with other dog lovers around the country who want to explore opportunities in their passions as well.
A couple things you were saying there. First of all, I've had just any kind of number of dogs. I've had purebred, I've had mixed breeds, I've had mutts, I've had everything. My oldest dog lived to 20. My oldest cat lived to 18. And I just adore animals. And I had a little Yorkie who every month for 11 years went back and forth from Florida to California, Florida, California, Florida, California. And she absolutely loved it. I opened my suitcase, and she was waiting to get into hers. And when I went without her, she was not a happy camper. Why am I not coming, Mommy? So she just adored doing that. And now I don't have a dog because where I live, I can only have cats. Believe it or not, I can't have a dog, but I can have 3 cats. So I have 2 cats. But I just think that it's amazing the bond that people have not only with their dog, but with any animal. However, you talked about a pop-up shop. So explain that to our listeners.
Yeah. So I would like to explain it. I want to kind of touch on something you just said, because I think you said something very important, and that was the strength of the bond that people have with their pets these days. And I can hear it even in your voice, the energy there when you're reflecting on your experiences with your dog. I have a theory about that, and it does tie into why the pop-up shop opportunity is an amazing opportunity. Today is a time when we are so connected to everything and everybody instantaneously through technology, through our computer and through our phones. Never before have we been, we're so inundated and so distracted by so many things. And yet the only time, there's just one moment. So we're so disconnected from each other in the same experience. We're connected through technology, but yet at the same time disconnected from the basic human connection, right? And so the dog plays this role for us. The dog is that one companion that truly, because of how present they are, gives to us this connectivity that yields such a powerful emotional response to us. We kind of crave that. And so it's for that reason that I think our company has grown successfully, and why this pop-up shop opportunity is an amazing venture for other dog lovers who feel this way and who want to share that with others. So last year, 2018, was a year where we launched the Dog is Good pop-up shop business opportunity. And really, it is an opportunity for individuals to have a business for themselves, but not be in business by themselves. And as their own business entity, they have the support of our brand, of our company, in terms of developing strategy, sales and marketing techniques, all of the things that are required to build a business around your passions. But they don't have to reinvent the wheel. We've done all the work already. And these pop-ups, I've been so excited because last year when we launched this, we introduced it to about 50 people, mostly women, a few good men in there too. And the transformation and growth that I have seen in these people, plus the success that they have been having, has been, number one, incredibly humbling. And number two, just seriously nothing short of remarkable to me. And so I'm just so excited to be able to share this as a way for people to have their own business venture around something that they love as much as well. And So this year, we're continuing to expand that and talking with, we're limiting the number that we bring on board, but we're very excited about this as an opportunity for others so they can have fun and make money and, do something that they love.
So this pop-up shop, is this something they do 5 days a week, 7 days a week, just occasionally here or there, or how does that work?
Yeah, kind of all of the above, and that's the beauty around it. We don't have any requirements on them at all as far as what they must do, but each individual is different. So every person comes to the table with their own ideas of how they want to, what kind of vision they want to build for their own pop-ups, and how they want to work it, and the verticals in which they want to work it. Because these business owners are popping up in any number of places. We have this standard event pop-ups where people show up at, pet expos, dog walks, street festivals, music festivals, wine festivals, those kind of events where you see the typical pop-up shops. That's one vertical. We have the corporate pop-ups. These are people, and many of these people do a number of these. They're going into major corporations that bring them in as a perk to employees. We have the small business pop-up. These are, people who go into veterinary offices or medical practices and set up in an office, and the people shop and, purchase their products. We have the retail pop-ups. These are individuals that partner with a local retail store, whether it's pet or boutique or women's or gift, and come in, for a temporary basis, maybe a day or a weekend or something like that, or an evening event, giving the retailer a chance to engage their customers in a completely different way and bring people into their stores. So that's a really good strategy there. And then recently we've had quite a few people doing pop-ups at hospitals. That's a really strong opportunity. And then many are now starting to venture into home boutique opportunities and just selling direct to the dog lover that way. So there's no requirements, but each individual will pick and choose what works best for them. And what I strive to do is help them define what their goals are, what their vision is, and put strategy around the action steps they need to take in order to be successful.
That's very interesting. There's certainly a lot of options there, and you're supplying them with the merchandise. So that's how you're fitting into this, correct?
Exactly, yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So now what do we find as the owner of this? Is this person someone who has a dog fetish? I mean, they love their dogs. Or is this someone who just thinks it's a neat thing to work something for animals? Do some people do it maybe so they donate to charity? I mean, who is the kind of individual you seem to attract?
Yes, that's a great question. So the profile of the person that seems to be reaching out to us and getting started, I would say, number one, there is a woman, anywhere from 35 on up to 60 seems to be the range of the individuals who are doing this currently. All of them have the one thing in common is we are all dog lovers. Some may be more fanatic about dogs than others, but they truly all are dog lovers and want to be around other people who also enjoy dogs. Pretty much everybody is very philanthropic. So in their events or things that they do, they are contributing back to charities of their choice. When they're partnering with companies or other retailers, they're collaborating and donating portions of proceeds back to a charity as well. But again, that's something that they decide who they want to contribute to and how much they may want to contribute out of their profits for those things. And that will vary probably from event to event. It's an energetic person who, is just ready to start something new or do something on the side. So the individuals, several of them are just looking to do this very part-time, just for fun, or as a way to just raise funds for an organization, so purely in a fundraising capacity. Others are doing it to, make a car payment or their mortgage. Few people are doing it on a full-time basis and making a full-time income. and others are going crazy and making it a very nice income doing it. So, one of the questions that I often get asked too is this like Mary Kay or Avon, like a multi-level thing? And it's actually not. It it is direct selling in terms of you are selling directly to the consumer. And the pop-ups have such an advantage over a regular retail store in that they are literally in front of their ideal customer, which is why their revenues do really, really well on a given day. And they can do it, like I said, on a weekend, during the week. It's completely up to them, whatever they schedule for themselves.
So is there a charge for them to do this, or it's just simply the merchandise they buy?
Just the merchandise they buy. There's no fee to actually do this. And we have a special program set up here at Dog is Good, specifically targeted for these individuals. So they get custom designs that other people or other retailers do not get. They get, we do custom pricing on certain things specifically for them to help them. But they are purchasing products from us and reselling them directly to their customers. And there's no other fee involved.
Well, since this is a show about living regret-free, you call yourself the master of blisscipline. And that is because of your active lifestyle, and you say you're number one fan to your daughter, Abby. Tell us about that other part of your life.
Yeah, and quite honestly, that was not always the case. And there's moments where I would say I'm mastering blisscipline, on any given week. There's times where, I haven't nailed, and other times where, just like anybody else, it's still part of the journey. And quite honestly, I have come to realize that is that piece of my routine and my discipline to protect my time around my self-care has made all the difference. So I have a very structured morning routine. It is non-negotiable. I absolutely will not schedule anything else in that period so that I can start off my day properly energized, with the right intentions, properly fueled and relaxed. And so I'm very intentional in the morning, and I'm also incredibly intentional in the evenings in terms of reflection and some other practices that I do. I've just come to learn that, really taking care of oneself parlays into every other aspect of my life in terms of relationships, in terms of my role as a leader in the company, and in terms of the connections that I have with family, friends, etc.
That's great. That's wonderful. So what is your morning routine? Because I know our listeners want to know.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm an early riser. People do not have to get up as early as I do, but that's just, I am an early bird, always have been. So I get up about 4:30, and before I actually get out of bed, I kind of mentally think about things like, wow, I just actually woke up. This is great. Because a lot of people did not, I like to get right into journaling right away. I drink water right out of the gate, so start to hydrate. And then I journal. I journal what I'm grateful for. I journal my intentions in terms of where I see myself a year from now, 5 years from now. So every day I write the same thing. And then I visualize all those things actually happening and coming to fruition. Then I meditate for about 10 minutes. I don't meditate for much longer than that, but I do deep breathing and meditate, and then I work out. And I get all my physical exercise in. And then there's days where I'll walk the dogs before coming into work, or I'll come into work. And then the evening routine is kind of the same, but it's more reflective. So I ask myself these questions. Where did I shine? Because I want to, kind of hone in on where did I do great during the day, what went well, where could I have been better? So in the communications that I may have had, or in my time scheduling, or things like that, just kind of being more cognizant of that. And then, once again, what will I do tomorrow? What will I do differently? And it just helps me be aware. It doesn't mean that, I end up doing everything exactly how it's supposed to be the next day. But what happens is, if I've reflected on a particular instance and thought about, gosh, I wish I'd handled it this way, I'm more cognizant of it. So when I'm placed in a similar or same situation, my response then is the response that I wanted it to be.
Well, that's great. That's wonderful. Everybody should be doing that. And it's wonderful that you're able to, live the way you want to live, and also be able to conduct business in an industry that is, just great. Just great. But you also received several awards. You got several business awards. You were recognized as one of the top 25 women of influence in the pet industry by Pet Age magazine. And then recently you were honored as a Woman of the Year for women in the pet industry. So why don't you tell us how people can get a hold of you, what you might want to share with them, and the best way to reach you?
Great. Well, thank you for that. If anybody wants to get a hold of me, I am absolutely happy to have conversations or connect through any of the social media. But they can, first and foremost, they can access the company by going to dogisgood.com. And you can find us on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Dog is Good, Instagram, all of the above. And they can reach me directly at my email, which is Gila, Gila, at dogisgood.com. Or they can connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn as well. And, that would be probably the easiest way.
Fantastic. And is there anything that you'd like to offer them? Is there any tips you have or anything that you could give them?
As far as it relates to setting up one's routine or trying to make change, sometimes I listen to a lot of podcasts as well, and oftentimes we're taking in information and then thinking, oh, I need to do this, this, and this. And I really am a proponent of, the one thing, if you're familiar with that book and their philosophy, in terms of identifying some things that are important to you and just picking one to focus on, because it really is about the habits that one creates, the habit of thought, which results in the actions that we take, and then the habit of implementation. And when we try to do too many things, do it all at once, we put ourselves in a state of overwhelm and get frustrated if we're not seeing things come to fruition. So all the things that I've mastered and have become a part of who I am as a person in my daily routine have become habits that were formed, over a several-month period, and just being really disciplined. And once one thing was mastered, then the next thing was added to it. So just being kind to oneself in that regard. And and if people want to come to the website, I want to encourage you as soon as you go to the website, there's an opportunity for you to get a 15% off coupon that you can use if you'd like to purchase anything on the Dog is Good website.
Wow, that sounds fantastic, Gila. Well, I want to remind people, that these are your furry friends. You know how you feel about them. I know how I feel about them. And, she's got a tremendous website. And if any of you out there, you thought, well, I'd like to do something, but I don't want to be full-time. I really just want to have fun, and I want to enjoy myself and make a few dollars. Dog is Good might be perfect for you, because you can do these pop-ups, and it's a fantastic opportunity. I want to remind you also that if you want to get in touch with me, talk to me, suggest some people for the shows or what you'd like to hear, go to my website, spunkyoldbroad.com, fill out the contact form, and we will get back to you just as soon as we get it. So if you want to find out more about Gila and what she's doing, it's dogisgood.com. Can't get any more simple than that. dogisgood.com. So go there, find out what it's all about. And we have about 30 seconds left, Gila. What have we not said that you would like to tell our listeners?
I want to invite your listeners to at least go to the website and sign up for Fur Covered Wisdom, which is a weekly dose of inspiration that they would receive from their very own dog. Literally, it's personalized from their dog. They can do that at the website. It's right there on the homepage. And they can also sign up for our 10-day Fur Covered Wisdom Challenge, which is a 10-day challenge to fetch a year and life worth barking about, something I'm incredibly passionate about.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Gila. And I know our paths will cross again, and we'll see one another, and keep up the great work.
Well, I adore you, so I hope we do get to see each other again. You are fantastic. Thank you so much for this chance to talk with you.